Notice, success is not guaranteed for all environments. We are not responsible for any results of this operation. Please back up your data and proceed at your own risk.
You're in the middle of getting something done, you glance down, and your Windows 11 taskbar is just gone. It's got to be one of the most annoying glitches out there, but seriously, don't worry. Today, we're going to fix it step by step. Let's get right into it. Right? It's that moment of pure confusion. 1 second it's there, the next it's totally vanished, and your desktop just feels broken. But you're not alone. This is a super common problem. And the good news is, the fix is usually way simpler than you'd think. We'll start with the easy stuff first. All right, so for phase 1, we're just going to run through the 3 most common reasons this happens. These are usually just simple settings that got flipped by accident. For a lot of you, your problem is going to be solved in like the next minute.
First things first, just try hitting the F11 key on your keyboard. That key toggles full screen mode in a lot of apps, and full screen mode is designed to hide the taskbar. If that's not it, let's check the auto hide setting. Just right-click on your desktop, go to Personalize, then Taskbar, and make absolutely sure that Automatically Hide the Taskbar is switched off. And finally, if you're using more than one monitor, press the Windows key and P at the same time. Try switching the view to PC screen only, and then switch it right back to Extend. That little refresh often snaps a lost taskbar back to your main screen.
Okay, so if those quick checks didn't work, don't sweat it. It's time to bring out the big guns. This next trick is the #1 go-to solution for a very good reason. And here's what's wild. For something like 80% of people with this problem, this next move fixes it instantly. So why does it work so well? Well, it's because it directly resets the core process that literally controls the entire visual part of Windows. Let's do this one together. Press Control, Shift, and Escape all at the same time to open up the Task Manager. Now in that big list of processes, just scroll down until you find Windows Explorer. It's the one with that little yellow folder icon. Find it? Good. Now right-click on it and just hit Restart. Your screen might flicker or go black for just a second, but then, boom, your taskbar should pop right back into place, good as new. So for that other 20% of you who are still staring at a blank space where your taskbar should be, I see you. Don't worry, this just means your issue is a little more stubborn. It probably means that the Windows Explorer process isn't just stuck, it's completely crashed and isn't starting up properly. But hey, we've got a plan for that too. All right, welcome to the deep dive. We're moving past the simple resets now, and we're going to start using more direct commands to force Windows to do what we want. These are the tactics we use when that taskbar is just completely gone. So here's our game plan. We're going to try 3 really powerful things. First, we'll manually force Explorer to run. Then, we'll do a super quick reset of your graphics driver, just to rule out any visual weirdness. And finally, we're going to use a special logout method that is often way more effective than a full reboot. Okay, with your Task Manager still open, look for a button at the top that says Run New Task. Go ahead and click that. In the little box that pops up, just type explorer.exe and hit Enter. If the Explorer process was totally crashed, this command basically jump-starts it from scratch, bringing your desktop icons and, hopefully, your taskbar right back to life. Now, for a really cool kind of secret shortcut, I want you to press 4 keys all at once: the Windows key, Control, Shift, and the letter B. Your screen will flash black for a split second, and you'll hear a little beep. What that does is it instantly resets your computer's graphics driver without you having to restart. It's totally safe, and it's a fantastic way to clear out any display bugs that might be hiding your taskbar. And here's a real pro tip for you. We all know the classic, turn it off and on again, right? Well, for user interface problems like this, signing out is often way better. Just press Control, Alt, and Delete and choose Sign Out. This completely ends your user session and cleans out weird glitches that a simple restart sometimes leaves behind. Then just sign back in. All right, so if you're still here with me, that means we're dealing with a really tough case. So it's time to stop just trying fixes and actually figure out what the root cause of the problem is. Because at this point, the problem isn't the taskbar. That's just the symptom of something much deeper. Think of it this way. A disappearing taskbar is like the check engine light on your car. It's not the problem itself, it's a warning sign. It's your computer telling you that some of the core components that draw your screen, things like the Windows shell, the Start menu, Explorer itself, have probably gotten damaged or corrupted somehow. So now we're going to run the ultimate diagnostic test. We're going to create a new temporary user account on your computer. It only takes a couple of minutes. So you create the new user, you log in, and you ask one question. Is the taskbar there? If the answer is yes, then your original user profile is the thing that's corrupted. But if the new user also doesn't have a taskbar, well, now we know for sure that the problem is much deeper. The core operating system files themselves are damaged. Okay, so now that we've diagnosed the problem as corrupted OS components, we can finally deploy the final solution. This is the big one, the definitive, pretty much 100% successful fix that the pros use when absolutely nothing else has worked.
Now, before we jump in, let's get the biggest fear out of the way right now: losing your data. Let me be perfectly, absolutely clear about this. This process is designed by Microsoft to be safe. It will not delete your personal files, your photos, your installed apps, or your games. Everything will be right where you left it. Promise.
What we're going to do is called a repair install. Think of it like swapping out the engine in your car while leaving you, your passengers, and everything in the trunk completely untouched. It goes in, it replaces all the broken and corrupted operating system files with fresh working ones, and it fixes the root cause of our taskbar problem for good.
Here's exactly how you do it. First, just go to your web browser and search for the official Windows 11 Installation Assistant from Microsoft's website and download it. Second, run that tool. It's going to guide you through the whole process. Now, the third step is the most critical one of all. You will get to a screen that says Ready to Install. You must make sure it says Keep Personal Files and Apps. It's almost always the default, but you have to double check. From there, you just click Install and let it do its thing. It'll take anywhere from about 30 to 60 minutes.
And once that's all done and you log back in, you'll see your familiar desktop, all your files and apps will be exactly where you left them, and most importantly, your taskbar will be right back at the bottom of the screen, right where it belongs. Problem solved.
You know, going through this whole process, from a simple key press to a full OS repair, it really shows how pretty much any tech problem can be broken down and figured out. Which leaves me with one last question for you to think about. What's that one tech problem you wish you could solve in just 5 minutes? Thanks for sticking with me.
Okay, picture this. It's Monday morning, maybe 8:05 a.m.
Oh, no.
You've got your coffee, you're getting ready for that 9 o'clock meeting, you sit down, you wake up your computer, and the screen comes on, your wallpaper's there, but something is just, I don't know, viscerally wrong.
It's that silence, the interface sound.
Exactly. The bottom of the screen is just a void. There's no start button, no clock. The taskbar is completely gone.
That is a very specific kind of tech panic. It's like getting in your car and the steering wheel is just missing.
Right. The engine's on, you can see the road, but you have no way to actually drive.
And that's the exact scenario we're digging into today. We've got this fascinating set of forum posts and tech logs from a user facing this exact black hole situation on Windows 11.
And I love this one because it's not just a list of fixes. It's like a detective story.
It really is. We're going to follow the clues from the simplest explanations to, deep system corruption.
And we're going to land on what you called the nuclear option.
The nuclear option, that, spoiler, isn't actually nuclear. It fixes almost anything without you losing your files.
All right, let's get into it. So our user is staring at this blank space where the taskbar should be. What's the very first thing they should do? The first line of defense.
The oops checks, you always start there. Before you assume the entire operating system is broken, you have to rule out, a simple setting.
And the first suspect, according to the source, is something called full screen mode.
Yeah, and it sounds so simple, but it happens all the time. You hit the F11 key by accident, and whatever program you're in, usually a web browser, just takes over the whole screen.
So the taskbar isn't gone, it's just hiding behind Google Chrome.
Exactly. You just hit F11 again and poof, everything comes back. It's like looking for your glasses when they're on your head.
Okay, so let's say our user hits F11, nothing happens. What's next? The source mentions a hover test.
Right. This is for the auto hide feature. Sometimes the setting gets flipped and the taskbar is programmed to slide down off the screen.
To give you more screen space.
Yeah. So you just slam your mouse cursor down to the very bottom edge of the screen and wait a second. If it's just hiding, it'll pop right back up.
But in our case study, the user tries F11, they try the hover test, nothing. The void remains.
So now we move from settings to glitches. And the first real fix is to basically wake up the part of Windows that draws the interface.
You're talking about restarting Explorer.exe.
Well, I am.
And we should clarify, because when most people hear Windows Explorer, they think of the yellow folder for their files.
Right, but it's so much more than that. The Explorer.exe process is the Windows shell. It draws your desktop, your icons, and yes, the taskbar. It's the painter for the whole operating system.
So if the painter gets confused or dozes off, the bottom of the painting just never gets drawn.
Precisely. And it happens. So with no taskbar, you need the keyboard. You hit Ctrl plus Shift plus ESC,
That brings up the task manager.
your command center. You
Oh.
find Windows Explorer in the list, right-click, and hit Restart.
And what do you see when that happens?
The screen will flash for a second. Your icons might disappear and then reappear. That's the whole graphical shell reloading itself from scratch.
And that fixes it a lot of the time.
The source says about 80% of the time for these kinds of minor glitches. It's the classic turn it off and on again, but just for the interface, not the whole PC.
Okay, but what if that doesn't work? The painter wakes up but still won't paint? The source has this wild keyboard shortcut, Win plus Scriptural plus Shift plus B.
Ah, yes. The secret handshake.
What on earth does that do?
It's a hardware-level command. It completely resets your graphics driver.
How is that different from restarting Explorer?
Explorer is software. The graphics driver is the connection to your physical video card. Sometimes the computer thinks it's sending the image of the taskbar, but the hardware buffer is stuck.
I see.
This key combo forces the driver to dump its memory and start over. You'll hear a little beep, and the screen will go black for a moment.
It's like blinking really hard to clear your vision.
That's a great way to put it.
So our user has tried all this. They've kicked the interface. They've reset the graphics. Still nothing.
And this is where the story gets really interesting. We're now moving out of simple glitches and into the weeds. Something is actively blocking the shell.
But before we get to why, how does the user even do anything? No start menu, no icons. They're trapped.
The task manager becomes their lifeline. There's an option in there, Run New Task, that lets you manually type in commands to launch programs.
So you're basically hot-wiring the computer because the key is broken.
Exactly. And the first place they drive is to the Windows registry to hunt for something the source calls the corporate ghost.
Okay, that sounds ominous. Are we talking about group policies?
We are. In big companies, IT admins use group policy to lock down PCs. They can set a rule that says do not display the taskbar for, say, a public kiosk machine.
But this is a personal PC at home. How would they get a corporate policy?
That's the ghost. Maybe you logged into your work email once on that PC, or, and this is a big one, you used one of those PC optimization tools.
Ah, the make Windows faster for gaming things.
Yes. A lot of those tools work by just flipping these policy switches in the registry to disable features. They can leave these kill switches behind.
So the computer isn't broken, it's just following an old order to hide the taskbar.
Exactly. The source points to a few specific registry keys to look for. No tree items display, no desktop. They're pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
Now, the problem for our user was they were on Windows 11 Home.
Which doesn't have the nice, easy group policy editor tool.
Nope. That's a pro feature.
Yeah.
So they had to go directly into the registry editor, regit it, and hunt for these keys manually.
Which is always a bit nerve-wracking.
It is. It's the DNA of the OS. But they dive in, they navigate to the right spot, and they're looking for these kill switches.
What did they find?
Nothing. It was completely clean.
Seriously, ghosts.
No ghosts, no rogue policies. The registry was fine.
Wow. So, it's not a glitch, not a driver, not a setting. What's left?
This is the big diagnostic step. We have to figure out, is it the user that's broken, or is the entire operating system broken?
And you figure that out by creating a new user account.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Okay, think of Windows as an apartment building. The operating system, all the core files, that's the building itself. The walls, the plumbing.
Okay.
Your user account is your specific apartment. Your furniture, your photos, your settings.
I'm with you.
If the lights go out in your apartment, the first thing you do is check if your neighbor's lights are on. If theirs are on, the problem is in your apartment, your user profile.
But if their lights are out too...
Then the whole building's power is out.
Yeah.
The problem is the system itself.
That's a great analogy. So the user, through Task Manager, creates a brand new, clean, local user account.
Right. They log out of their main account, log into the new one. They get the whole, hi, we're setting things up for you animation. And the taskbar is still missing.
So the whole building has bad wiring.
The whole building. This confirms it's not a user profile issue. It's deep structural corruption in Windows itself. The actual files that make up the shell are damaged.
Yikes. I mean, when I hear system corruption, I immediately think my whole weekend is gone, reinstalling everything.
That's what most people think. And they might try running a command like SEC scan now, but for this level of damage, it often doesn't work.
But the source has the real solution, the repair install or in-place upgrade. How is that different from a full wipe?
So a full wipe is like demolishing the building and starting over. A repair install is more like a magical crew comes in and replaces all the plumbing and wiring inside the walls, but they don't touch your furniture or your photos.
So it replaces the broken Windows system files, but leaves all my personal stuff, my apps, my documents, exactly where they are.
Exactly. It slides a brand new, healthy system layer underneath your existing data layer.
That's incredible. How do you do it, though, with no way to navigate?
Back to the Task Manager Life Raft. You run a new task, type mseg.exe to open the browser.
And download the tool from Microsoft's website.
The Windows 11 Installation Assistant.
Yeah.
You run it, and it will look like you're about to wipe your computer. It says, installing Windows 11.
Which would make me panic.
Of course.
Yeah.
But there's one critical screen where it asks what you want to keep. And you have to make absolutely sure the option, keep personal files and apps, is checked.
That's the magic button.
That's the magic button. You let it run. It takes maybe 45 minutes, reboots a few times.
And when our user logged back in,
Their wallpaper was there, their icons were there, and right at the bottom, a fully functional taskbar.
that is just so satisfying. It turns a potential disaster into like a long lunch break.
It's a true superpower for any Windows user. I've used it to fix all sorts of unfixable problems.
Now, speaking of recovery, the source took a little side quest that I found fascinating. The user wanted to create a USB recovery drive for the future.
Ah, yes. The backup system files checkbox.
Yeah.
A classic tech myth.
Right. So when you're making the recovery USB, there's a box you can check to include the system files on the drive. Common sense says you should check it, right?
Yeah.
To have everything in one place.
It seems logical, but no. The expert in the source says absolutely do not check that box.
Why on earth not?
Because it's unbelievably slow. First, creating the drive takes hours because it has to copy gigs of data to a slow USB stick.
Okay, that makes sense.
And even when you use it, the computer has to read all those files from that same slow USB stick. It's much, much faster for the recovery tools to read the necessary files from your internal SSD.
So the USB stick should just be the key that starts the engine. You don't need it to carry all the fuel.
Perfect analogy. If you uncheck that box, you can create a recovery drive in 2 minutes on a tiny HDD stick. It just boots the PC into the recovery menu, and then the fast internal drive takes over.
That's a huge tip. Less is more.
A lot more in this case.
So we've gone from the initial panic all the way to this super powerful repair install. What's the one big takeaway for you from all this?
For me, it's how we just assume the interface will always be there. We trust it. But the shell, the start button, it's just a program. It can break.
And when it breaks, you're locked out.
Which leads to the final piece of advice from the source, which I think is brilliant. Print the solution to PDF.
Pre-Trill plus P.
Creo plus P. Think about it. When your taskbar is gone, you can't open a browser to Google the fix. If the map to get out of the woods is only available online and you have no signal, you're stuck.
That's a great point. You're digitally stranded.
Exactly. So find the instructions for a repair install now while your computer is working. Save it as a PDF on your phone or on a USB drive. Have the map before you get lost.
It's like a digital emergency kit.
It is. And maybe memorize just one thing. Control plus Shift plus ESC. Because when all the pretty graphics disappear, the keyboard is your best friend.
I think I can handle that. This has been incredibly useful. I feel like I could actually fix this now.
Just remember to check that box. Keep personal files and apps.
Always. Thanks so much. That's all for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening. Stay curious.